putting makeup on the fat Boy2. After the interview, I was in shock. I could hardly think, and Rosalia kept shouting, "Man, Carlos, I can't believe it." Valentino told me, "I'll call you with a date you're going to start working." He said it like it hurt. I said, "Thank you for giving me the chance." Yeah, right? Craig Denton had already disappeared. When me and Rosalia were going through the doors on the way out, I'm not going to lie, I remember thinking that I still had on the Stella McCartneys, but I couldn't go back into the store to take them off. Not then. Not when all the cameras in my head were watching Carlos Duarte, Macy's new makeup artist, and his model sister, Rosalia, leaving the world-famous department store. How could I stop, go back into the men's room, and change into a pair of dirty sneakers at a moment like that? I went with Rosalia from the store to the subway without realizing how I got there. We went over all the details, and I was really happy that she was the one who'd been there. She was family, and it meant a lot to me that she was my sister. "I have to go to work and hope I'm not fired," she said. That's what brought me back to reality. "You won't be," I told her. "Today is too special. Nothing can go wrong." At 14th Street, when Rosalia got off the train, I started thinking again about every detail of what happened at the store. I walked all the way to the end of the platform, talking to myself, repeating everything that Craig Denton had said about me to Valentino. When I got to the bottom of the stairs, I looked up and saw Danny. Behind him were his two friends from Burrito Takeout Village coming down toward me. "Hi," I said softly to Danny. He didn't say anything. I started up the stairs. I tripped on something and looked down to see what it was. It looked like an old curtain rod. I moved to one side so that the three could get past me. I looked up again at Danny. He was my sister's boyfriend, but he wasn't even going to say hi. As they got nearer, I could smell liquor on them. One of them said, "Ooh, Carlos," in this really girly voice. Danny was already next to me. One of the others was standing above me on the stairs. He spit down at me. I tried to get away. I fell, and the spit hit the front of my jacket. Danny and the other kids started laughing. I was half lying, half sitting on the subway stairs. I wasn't scared. I was mad. It wasn't as though I didn't know them. I knew where they worked. Was he crazy? Were they all crazy? Danny reached down. I froze. Danny took the curtain rod and gave it to his friend. It was like he was giving him instructions that didn't need to be said out loud. The guy took the rod and scratched the smooth black leather of one boot from the bottom all the way up to the top. I tried to jump and get out of his way, but I wasn't fast enough. "You stupid piece of trash!" I shouted. Someone was on their way up the stairs. The guys all ran past me, laughing and calling my name. "Carlos! Carlos!" I only knew one of their names, Danny's, but I could see all of their faces, and I knew where to find them, and I wasn't sure exactly what I'd do. But I had to do something. I looked down at the ruined boots I should have taken off like I'd promised I would. At home, I tried to think of how I could fix the scratch before I took the boots back to Soraya. But when I saw how deep and long it was, I knew nobody was going to pay $300 for those boots, Stella McCartney's or not. I would have done anything not to face Soraya. What could I say? I wore them out of the store like I'd promised I wouldn't, and then a friend of my sister's boyfriend ruined them. And that's exactly what I did say to Soraya. I just told the truth. I finished by saying, all I can do is say, if you give me enough time, I can pay for them. But it will take time, even with my new job. Soraya didn't care about my new job, which I understood, because now she was worried about losing hers. What do you think this is, Carlos? It's not that kind of store. You're living in a bigger fantasy world than I thought. I trusted you. I'm really sorry, Soraya. I know I let you down, and I know you probably hate me, but all I can do is offer to pay for the boots. And if I had $300 right now, I'd give it to you. But I don't. So all you can do is say sorry. Now, could you please leave the store, Carlos? I have customers. She said it like she didn't know me, and I just hoped she wouldn't be fired because of me. I walked out of Tokyo Joe's and looked down at my jacket and remembered how excited Soraya had been when she'd told me she could sell it to me for so much less because it was a little faded. Today, some guy had spit on it, and in a way I felt like I'd done the same to my friendship with Soraya.